Hey, replay viewers, thank you for joining me today. Today is Saturday, and the weather's really pretty crummy here in New Jersey, but I can't really complain. If this is the worst of Harvey we're going to get, obviously this is nothing. We have a little bit of rain today. Very cloudy, but kids are sick. Which I'll talk a little bit more about in a second. So I guess it doesn't really matter anyway, right? If you don't know me, my name is Jennifer Edwards. I'm coming to you live again from New Jersey. I am a work-from-home mom who teaches people how to live a cleaner, healthier lifestyle. Hey, Kat, how are you? Hope everything's good. If you're catching me live, could you just do me a favor and either say hi in the comments or drop a 1 in the comments to let me know you're live. If you're catching the replay, please drop a number 2. And if this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, could you just drop a new in the comments so that I know that you're here and you know, I want to connect with you. So happy to connect with you. Thanks. So anyway, yeah, kids are all sick. My 3 boys, all of them have strep. They all sleep in the same bed, so, you know, it was bound to happen. They share everything, and strep tends to linger around here. In most cases, you know, I really do think that it's constantly lingering around here. To be honest, I'm pretty certain that I have a carrier. Pretty sure I know who it is just based on the fact that he's always asymptomatic. But since he was diagnosed yesterday, he has developed a fever. So, you know, hey, now now we have it, right? So what's interesting, right, is that 2 of my kids, and one of them is not a puker at all. I don't think he's ever thrown up before at all, aside from maybe a little spit up as a baby, but that's it. Nothing terrible, no reflux, whatever. The other one has been a puker since day one, totally a reflux kid, whatever. But as their fever was going up over the last couple of days, it seemed to bring on vomiting. So, you know, it's a little crazy, and while I have a safer, greener version here, my first instinct was to grab for the Lysol, right, to clean up. So yeah, because even the one who's a pro didn't make it to the bowl, so we had to do a little cleanup yesterday, and good. And so, you know, I've known about the dangers of Lysol wipes and Clorox wipes for a while. It's just you know, something that didn't click for me yesterday for some reason, right? So, but this has come up, and the reason why I'm mentioning it now is back to school, right? So it's back to school season, and you know, and obviously I just grabbed them yesterday, not knowing better. I don't know what I was thinking, right? So it's back to school season. A lot of teachers have Lysol wipes or Clorox wipes on their school list, right? School supplies, teacher request lists. Lots of teacher friends I know that I have, so I thought that maybe putting this out there might help to get the word out a little bit. So it's important to know what these disinfectant wipes do, right? So I have them here. It's important to know what a disinfectant in general does, right? So when you just clean a surface, you're cleaning the surface. You can clean it with soap and water, and it will remove the germs from the surface, right? A disinfectant actually kills germs and kills bacteria by using antimicrobial pesticides, okay? So it's a big deal. There's a big difference between using soap and water and using something that's going to kill germs, okay? So I have a lot of notes. Sorry. So anyway, you know, in most cases, in most homes, and especially in school, disinfecting isn't even really necessary unless you have serious illnesses going around, right? Desks and surfaces like that don't necessarily need to be disinfected ever. Products, these kinds of products, right on the label, say that they cause serious skin and eye burns, and right there and then they're really inappropriate for kids to use at all, especially, you know, obviously, I'm sure the surfaces are fine, but whatever. So disinfectant chemicals can cause allergic reactions. They can cause asthma. There are ingredients in these products called quats, which is quaternary, I can't even pronounce it, ammonium compounds, okay? And they call them quats for short. And then there's also an ingredient called NPEs, which are I can't even say it, nonylphenol ethoxylates, okay? Those are actually endocrine disruptors, so they mess with hormones, which is really kind of crazy. And those are toxic to fish and other water-dwelling organisms, things that live in the water. So I'm kind of thinking, if they harm fish, what are they doing to humans? But so anyway, lots of exposure has actually been shown to cause reproductive issues in lab animals. So I'm concerned about humans and what it does for humans. So that's why I'm bringing this up now, because this is on teacher request list. I think everybody kind of needs to know. If they don't, I'm sure there are policies and things like that in schools, and you teachers, I know a lot don't even allow the kids to touch them, but just thought that getting the word out might help a little bit. So some exposure, obviously, to bacteria is healthy, and it builds up the immune system. It builds up all of our immune systems. And overuse of disinfectants, obviously, can lead to superbugs and bacteria that can't be killed by antibiotics. And that's kind of what we've seen over the years. It's also been seen in like antibacterial soap. And if you recall, a lot of antibacterial soap has actually been removed from the market because of that, right? You may still have some in your home though, and so it's important to know that, overuse of antibacterial soap, anything that kills microbes, is really inviting issues down the road if these bacteria get too strong, right? So Lysol wipes specifically. The active ingredient is definitely what I told you before, quats. I can't even pronounce really what it is, and I'm blind, so forgive me, right? But the main ingredient is alkyl dimethyl benzyl ammonium chloride. Okay, so that's the active ingredient in there. It is, like I said, the quats, which lead to asthma and allergic reactions and respiratory issues and things like that. The instructions, which are very interesting, okay, and I'm relatively certain, and you guys can let me know, but most people don't read the instructions for these things, and you just pick them up and you use them to clean. Well, all of the instructions for everything that these are intended for, to sanitize, to disinfect, and to prevent the growth of mold, all require you to actually pre-clean the surface. So you're supposed to clean it with something else before you even use these, okay? Then you're also supposed to rinse afterwards. And did you know this? If you did not know this, can you drop a 3 in the comments? I'm certain, I never looked, okay? I never really paid attention to this. And even more interestingly enough, okay, so to sanitize, you need to thoroughly wet the surface that you're cleaning and allow the surface to remain wet for at least 10 seconds for that surface to be sanitized. I don't know about you. I've always just kind of wiped and gone, right? I thought, here, okay, I'm using this, we're sanitizing the surface, we're good. Well, what really, really blows me away, right, is so if you're trying to disinfect a surface, say you have flu or RSV or E. coli or salmonella or listeria or MRSA or strep, right, or staph, and you in your home or whatever, and you want to protect the rest of your family, you're going to want to disinfect surfaces that people have come into contact with, like doorknobs or the toilet maybe. Did you know that you actually need to keep the surface wet for 4 minutes for this to be effective? So, and this is Lysol, by the way. So different brands are going to be different. Some you actually have to keep the surface wet for up to 10 minutes to be effective. And that's kind of crazy because I don't know about you, I've never, ever in my life done that. Never. And so it's a little frightening. Again, anyone ever know this? Anyone do this? if you have done it, let me know. If you didn't know this, and if you've never done this, drop a 4 in the comments, because I was blown away by this, really. So again, depending on the brand, you may have to keep the surface wet for between 4 and 10 minutes for them to actually work. So basically, the wipes are not safe, or as safe as you might have thought, right, for everyday use. So what can you do instead, right? At home, you first need to determine whether or not you need to clean or disinfect. Okay, so in general, right, you can clean your surfaces regularly with soap and water. You can use non-antimicrobial wipes like baby wipes. You can use microfiber cloths, which are really great. We've been using some Norwex cloths. They're really good. You don't even need chemicals with them at all. Wet paper towels. And anyway, so cleaning will remove the germs and prevent spreading. So in most cases, that's all you want, right? That's really all you want, and that's typically enough to keep the normal family healthy. And washing hands and everything is all important, but you don't necessarily need to disinfect anything. So what you will want to disinfect are surfaces that have come in contact with either things like raw meat, blood, other bodily fluids, anytime someone has a contagious illness, such as the flu or like a stomach bug, if someone, vomits, you can clean with that to disinfect if there's a bug going around, right? It's really meant for small surfaces, like I said, doorknobs, keyboards, anything that person may have coughed on their hand and touched. So it's not meant for tables. It's not meant for desks. And so when you disinfect, and obviously, there will be times where you definitely need to disinfect the surface or whatever. When you do, make sure that you use your products as they're directed to do. Otherwise you run the risk of really exposing your family to unnecessary toxic chemicals, and they're not even making any difference at all. And so if you follow the directions and you keep them wet, for the surface wet for as long as the product says you should for it to be effective, you'll be fine. But otherwise, you're just wasting your time, basically, and exposing people to harmful chemicals that you don't need to. So you'll also want to keep them away from children, obviously. You'll want to wash your hands. You want to wash the surfaces that you are disinfecting after you're done, particularly if they're going to be coming in contact with food. You definitely don't want to ingest that, and you definitely don't want to use it on skin. Interestingly enough, I was doing like a quick little search this morning on Facebook for toxic wipes, whatever. I was doing a quick little search for Clorox wipes on Facebook, and I saw that someone had posted that she used the Clorox wipe to remove her makeup, and that it worked for everything except for her lip sense, and how much she loved her lip sense. And I'm like thinking to myself, oh my God, is this woman crazy? Like, well, whatever. A makeup remover is great. Even baby wipes, great. I'd never use a Clorox wipe to remove my makeup. Just saying. Probably not safe. And then the last thing, which is probably self-explanatory, is you don't want to cross-contaminate if you're using cleaning wipes, right? So you're not going to use a cleaning wipe on the toilet and then clean your countertops. I guess that's kind of self-explanatory, but maybe I need to say that, right? And then you definitely want to throw out the wipes that you use immediately. One other thing too, which is kind of related, is like if you're using a sponge in your kitchen, you might want to microwave that, a wet sponge, to basically kill any bacteria, so you're not transferring it back to other items, right? And you definitely don't want to ever use cleaning wipes to clean your dishes. You just don't. So anyway, for schools, some suggestions, getting back to that whole subject, so back to school, and what can you do about using these cleaning wipes in schools? you first want to make sure you ask who uses the disinfecting wipes that are being requested from your children or for your children to bring in. You want to make sure, it's not the kids using them. You want to make sure, who is using them, they're using them, what circumstances they're using them under, right? Some schools, or most schools, really have policies against kids using the disinfectant wipes, but others are already using like greener alternatives. But you might still want to talk to your teachers and any other decision makers just to see what the policy is for the particular school that your children are attending. Okay, I honestly, I was reading a lot of this today, and like I said, a lot of this I learned earlier, but when I was reading this today, I was a little bit disturbed. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, especially my youngest has asthma, so I'm just thinking, when he's in school, they're gonna be using these cleaning wipes all around him, and I just can't imagine like a good outcome from that, because that's what all of the schools want, right? They ask you to send that in. So talk to your teachers, see what the policy is, ask if you can provide non-disinfecting wipes, right? Ask if you can send in baby wipes with your child. Ask if you can, and suggest maybe that they use that for the normal everyday cleanup and hand washing, and save the disinfecting for the really serious germs, and where those germs are transmitted and all that other stuff. But like, you don't really need disinfecting cloths for cleaning desks, bottom line. So personally, I am ditching the Lysol wipes. So yes, used them yesterday, ditching them now. I have a lot. Maybe that will be, is it the right thing to do? Maybe, maybe not. But I think I'm going to donate them, because that's what a lot of people are requesting for cleaning projects. And I'll donate some of my other wipes that I have that I know are a lot greener. Yeah, I'm ditching those in favor of like the safer alternatives. We have this, my company offers a safer alternative wipe that, it's still a disinfecting wipe, but it has safer active ingredients. I didn't even think to use it yesterday. I wasn't really sure, if it was going to do the job of killing the germs. I mean, it's still, after all this time, this whole live clean thing, sometimes you have clean green products that you just don't work as well as the alternatives. So I didn't doubt these, but I just never even thought to use them. So anyway, I will be using a lot more baby wipes to clean around the house. I'll be using my Norwex microfiber cloths. My battery is going low. I'll be using more wet paper towels and things like that for like the general cleanup. I'm planning to reach out to my kids' teachers and just to ask them if I can send in baby wipes, and if I can send in the cleaner versions or greener versions of these wipes to use when there are germs and serious germs that they're concerned about spreading, right? So if you might be interested in giving the safer alternative wipes a try, or purchasing them for teachers or something like that, let me know. Drop a thumbs up in the comments. I can send you a link where you can actually get a container for free. There are 40 in this container. You can barely even see it, sorry. But there are 40 wipes in this container, so it's a little bit smaller than the big giant Lysol thing, but you will get it for free. You just need to pay for shipping if you're interested in giving those a try. Anything else that I need to say? I don't know. I have all these notes and yet I still doubt myself. I feel like I'm going to forget something. But anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. I guess my subject of this video may have been a little bit over dramatic, but I think in the long run, all of this stuff that we're doing, harms our children. You know, it's like if they're constantly exposed to chemicals and things that they don't need to be exposed to, it's just crazy. So we have to do what we can, and I think, you know, it all starts with us as parents looking out for them and looking out for what they're exposed to at home and at school and anywhere else that they go. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Our children are going to thank us one day for learning more so that we can keep them safer and healthier. Thank you so much. Anyone have questions? Jeez, everyone's so quiet today. All right. Well, anyway, I will be around. So, you know, let me know what you thought. Let me know if you found value in this, please. And I will see you soon. Take care, guys.